guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video, as the title describes, talking about my NCLEX experience, the good, the bad, and all of that. First of all, if you haven't seen my previous video, which is more of a vlog of me going through the day of my NCLEX, I'll leave a link right up here or here for you to view if you'd like, and that will probably give you a better idea of some of the things that I'll mention in this video. But I'm going to jump right into it, and I have some notes because y'all know I like to ramble and I don't want this video to be horribly long, so I'm going to try to speed through the process. So what did I do to study for the NCLEX? I just used UWorld. I did not look at any notes from nursing school. I did not use my Saunders book. I also have the NCLEX Mastery app. Didn't use that either. I decided to just focus on one resource and let that one resource be the guiding force. I did, however, use a packet that was floating around on allnurses.com. I'll definitely link it down below for you guys. It's like a 30+ page document. There's a lot of good information in it. I would definitely look over it. I would look over it like once you finish your UWorld questions. If UWorld is something that you'd like to use, I would use that as a last resource to review. Just something to look through, nothing to really burden yourself with, but I did enjoy the packet and I would recommend it. So those are the only two resources that I personally used for my NCLEX. How long did I study? I bought my UWorld subscription on January the 3rd and it finished January the 3rd, so I used it for that 30 days. And then because I went on vacation, I did miss a couple of days worth of UWorld questions, so I ended up having to renew it. I renewed for 7 days, which was about $30, which I wasn't anticipating. I didn't really want to do it, but at the end of the day, I was willing to spend whatever I needed to spend to make sure that I passed this test, and I passed it the first time. So in total, I probably had my UWorld subscription for 37 days. I only used it for maybe like 4 days out of that 7-day subscription. So those are the days that was my UWorld subscription length. And that's how long I studied for NCLEX. I graduated December the 13th of last year, 2016, and I essentially took the whole month of December off. I didn't do a thing. I just spent the holidays with my family and enjoyed having free time after having such a long year of studying. And then I knew as soon as January started, I needed to kick it up into high gear, and so purchased my Euro subscription January the 3rd and got right to it. I averaged about 75 questions a day, which, I mean, most people will say you need to do a lot more than that, but I spent a lot of time going over the rationales on UWorld. I would sit there, I would read them, and I would write them out, and that takes time, especially if I'm really invested in trying to make sure I'm retaining this information and I'm not just doing questions just to see if I got it right or wrong. So that's why it took me a lot longer. I would average between 75 to 100 questions a day. Towards the end, when things were picking up, I was doing about 200, like 175, 200 questions a day. Okay, so the day of the actual NCLEX, so I had a very unconventional day. I had to work the night before from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. and my test was scheduled for 8 a.m. so I had an hour to get there. There was traffic, there were some road issues, I hadn't slept, I hadn't really eaten a whole lot. I was stressed out because I found out the night before that I didn't get a job that I'd interviewed for, so it wasn't the best of circumstances, but you know, if you know me, I'm just a very positive person. I try not to let things bring me down or push me off my game. So I took it in stride and I didn't let it affect my test-taking abilities. But I would highly recommend when you are preparing for the day of your NCLEX, please make sure that the day before you're not working. Make sure you get adequate sleep. Make sure you are eating properly. And I would highly recommend that you drive to the testing center to make sure that you know exactly where you're going. That really saved me. I'm really glad that I did that personally, but those are some of the things that I would recommend. Just try to de-stress and stay on your game. Okay, as far as my NCLEX goes, I got there at 8 exactly. I was the last person who was testing, so I had to wait about 30 or so minutes for the representative from Pearson to get everyone else through. I didn't bring a whole lot with me. I had my little wallet that had like my ID, so my credit or debit cards, and like some chapstick, my keys, and then I had a bag of grapes and a water bottle. that was my snack, and she basically took my ID. She gave me like a laminated piece of paper to read over, which I'd already read over because I'd seen that information on the site where you register for the NCLEX. So I just skimmed over it. She did a palm scan on both my hands. It was nothing fancy, but yeah, I did get palm scanned. And then I didn't bring my phone in either. I made sure to leave my phone in the car because I didn't want no problems.
You don't want zero problems.
So I also had on a headband that day, if you can't tell in the video because my hair was looking crazy. I had on a headband and I had on these earrings. She made me take off my earrings and she made me take off my headband. So that's something to think about. I wasn't anticipating that. I had on like sweats, so they did like pat me down, look at my hoodie, make sure that I wasn't like hiding notes or anything under there. So my recommendation is dress comfortably when you get there, and like they pretty much want you to be naked, I guess, because she made me take off my earrings. I was able to keep the little small ones in, but she made me take these off. So don't wear earrings, don't wear a headband, and don't wear super baggy clothes if you can get across that. I like wearing baggy clothes because that's what I feel most comfortable in. God, these bra straps keep showing me. I'm trying to give YouTube all the goodies. Anyways, yeah, so that was my experience. Maybe it was different for you, but that's what it was for me. I went in, yeah, so after she palm scanned me, I got my locker, I put everything away, I just had my ID with me. I was also very sniffly that day, so I couldn't bring in my own tissue. And when I get nervous, my nose just runs naturally. That's just part of life for Marsha. So I was able to use tissue that the testing center provided, which was okay, but it wasn't enough. And I'll get into that later. So then I go into another part of the room. Another representative explains to me how it works. I need to raise my hand when I'm finished. I need to raise my hand if I need anything. She told me that there was going to be 2 sets of headphones. One if I got an audio question, and another set of headphones that was just noise canceling. And then I went in, I sat down for my test, I put on my audio headphones, and then I did like the little pre-test where they teach you how to take the NCLEX, but honestly, I used UWorld, so it was pretty much the same thing. After that, I started my test, I put on my noise canceling headphones, and I took the test. It stopped at 75 questions. I did get a considerable amount of select all that apply questions, and I'm just gonna leave my information about the actual test at that because I'm not trying to go to jail or get sued. So it stopped at 75 questions, and so you can gauge how long it took me. I sat down for my test about 8:30, and by 10 o'clock I was in my car, not walking out of the testing center, not going down the stairs. I was in my car contemplating life, contemplating how this happened. Yeah, I mean, right now I'm glad that it stopped at 75 questions because I passed, but the day of, I was very apprehensive just because I didn't really, there were questions, I don't know, I've heard people say they didn't feel like they did well on any of the questions. There were questions that I felt like I knew off bat. I was just like, oh, that was mad easy. I would even have gotten this test in my actual nursing classes because my professors would never give us questions that easy. So I don't know if I was just super prepared or if the test was just that easy. I think I was just super prepared. I did feel that my nursing education did prepare me very adequately for the NCLEX. Do I think I could have passed the NCLEX without UWorld? That's debatable. I probably don't think I would have stopped at 75 without UWorld. Maybe I could have winged it. I don't know. I wasn't gonna take that chance. But I do feel like I did get a solid nursing education because there were a lot of questions that I got on the NCLEX where I felt like I wasn't completely, what am I trying to say? Unaware that this is just brand new information where I was just like, whoa, what is this? Whereas with UWorld, and I'm gonna do a whole nother video on UWorld. I know I keep bringing it up, but this is what I used to study for the NCLEX. But with UWorld, there were a lot of things on there that I'd never seen before. Okay, so my advice on passing the NCLEX, 75 questions, definitely find a resource, whatever resource that you choose to do, and stick to it. I find that people who tend to try to spread their resources out, they try to do too much at once, are the people that sometimes have issues. But I don't know, do what works for you. There are tons of resources out there outside of UWorld. There's NCLEX Mastery, there's Hearst, there's Kaplan, there's NSRNG. There are a plethora of resources out there. find one and use them. Or if you feel like you got it, then so be it, because I have friends that didn't do a thing and they just relied on their nursing school education and whatever resources their nursing school provided, and they still passed. So whatever works for you. But as far as what I did, I would say if you're going to use I would highly recommend UWorld as a resource. And don't worry, again, my review is coming on that. But if you're going to use UWorld, stick to it and do all the questions that you can do, and you will pass in 75 questions, because UWorld is very difficult. So I took my NCLEX Wednesday, February the 8th. I did the PBT trick Wednesday afternoon. I don't remember the time, but I'll include it somewhere around here. And I did get the good pop-up, and I tried it 3 times after that throughout the rest of the day, and I continued to get the good pop-up. And then the very next day, I would say around maybe like 12:30ish, 1, I checked my State Board of Nursing's website. I have my own account. I can log in, and at least with the state that I live in, they will let you know if you passed or failed. Like, I didn't have to purchase quick results or anything like that. Like, I just logged into my State Board of Nursing account and I checked, and it said pass. I didn't have a license number. I didn't get any emails from the State Board of Nursing or Pearson, but it said pass. And I also have a CNA license, which, yeah, so I knew that that pass was legit because I could still see the passing score from my CNA license. So I found out in about like 27 hours after I took my NCLEX that I passed, and then the following day I had a license number associated with my name. So that's how I found out. I didn't have to wait that long. Woo, thank God. And yeah, I'm officially a registered nurse now. I put that RN behind my last name. And I have more information coming about, I have a life update coming. So much has happened within like the last week, but that's gonna be a whole separate video. But if you guys enjoyed this video, or if you have any questions about my UWorld experience, please leave them down below. If you specifically have questions about UWorld, I would definitely tell you to watch my review video about that, and then leave any questions that you have specifically about UWorld down below. But as always, it was nice talking to you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, nurse friends.